Evening, boys.
Evening, Sally.
Welcome to The Chatting, your local pubcast. I'm Rob.
I'm Kirk.
I'm Mark.
And I'm the other Mark. 3 pints, Sally. And what are you having?
I'll have a bushwhacker.
Cheers. Off at your mother.
Evening, boys.
Evening,
Rob.
Are we doing all right?
All right. I'm good, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
The sciatica
You're looking a bit buff. You've been working out?
Yeah, you do look...
Are you still wearing children's clothes?
No, little bit of both.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I've been working out, yeah.
Have you?
Yeah. Working out.
Aerobics?
Yeah. No.
One of those plastic steppers?
Nearly. I know, I've been in the gym. But I have had a bit of a setback. I mentioned the other week about my sciatica. I always say that as if I've got a life...
My sciatica.
Life-lasting
It
condition.
disables you for a couple of days. Yeah.
Well, it's still there, but it's not like it's constant pain now. So I probably do need physio, but yeah, I'm back working out and yeah, I'm enjoying it. Thanks for noticing, Mark.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
That'll make his week, That'll
Yeah.
absolutely make his
Well,
week.
it's only because I noticed that Action Man doll in corners missing its top. Rob's managed to stretch into it.
This is quite baggy for me.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to your skydive, Rob? It's only about just over a month away.
Yeah.
And do you know what? It's funny you should say that because I think I was
You've
driving
cancelled
to work.
Yeah.
I was driving to work yesterday. It just popped into my head and I got nervous.
Oh,
you think
already?
about something and you just go, oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Almost like as it's getting closer, the whole... You know what I'm like? I'm all like, yeah, I'm going to do
You're
it.
all pumped up, yeah.
And, are you nervous? No, I'm just excited. And it's like, as it's getting closer, I'm turning more to... Yeah, I'm really excited about this.
Have you started having those twitches when you're nodding off on a night and you get that falling feeling? You jump and wake up. Yeah. You can't consider that training.
No. Oh, imagine that feeling constantly for.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, so if you're feeling like this now and you're doing it like in 3-4 weeks time or whatever, do you think it's going to get worse, this fear?
I have a feeling it might. Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to get better, surely.
No, I do. Now we're talking about it. I've actually got nervous.
Are you starting to get?
I've got really
Let's talk
nervous.
about it for the entire episode.
I've got really nervous. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I am nervous, but it's fast approaching.
But you don't think you'll knock back out at the last minute?
I, will,
I know you're not
will
a
not
quitter,
back out.
but
I will not back out.
But what if you're really, really, really
Don't
nervous?
care. I won't back out, mate. You know what I'm like.
Yeah,
Once
okay.
I set, I'm doing something.
Okay.
I'm doing it.
He'll be fine because I can guarantee, right, when he's on that plane going up, right, he'll be really nervous. And then all of a sudden this little noise in his head will come in of dum, 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 dum,
Yeah.
dum. And that's it. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll think...
Stop calling him names.
Cheeky.
Dum.
And how's yours going, Kirk? You still doing your keto?
Yes, I'm still doing keto. Yeah. Doing really well. Lost over 2 stone.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well done.
I would say I'm on track.
Yeah. Is it plateauing at all, or is it just?
No, I'm losing about a steady £2 a week.
That's great. That
Is that your membership?
Yeah. Yeah. It's £3 a week cheaper than Slimming World.
Do you not go to that anymore, Slim?
No.
Oh,
No,
do they
you,
not?
you can't. You certainly couldn't do both at the same time because they're almost like the opposite
Really?
ends. You've literally got one end of Slimming World that's like stay away from fats, stay away from oils, and eat as much carbs as you want. And keto is eat fats, eat butter, eat oil. You know.
So can I ask, why didn't you go back to Slimming World and tell them that you're on? Is it called keto?
Yeah.
Keto. And tell them that, and would they be like, "Get out of here! We don't want to"? Is that how they react to that, or do they go,
"No, not at all"?
Because surely it's like somebody believing in God, somebody not believing in God. It's completely opposites, isn't it?
Not really. They just,
Is it not?
It's everybody. Everybody understands that there's different ways of losing weight. So I'm sure that a nutritionalist or whatever would sit there and say, you know, that Slimming World is awful and really bad for you and stuff like that. And then as somebody else with the same nutritionalist degree or whatever it is.
Is it not nutritionist?
I don't know.
I keep saying
Hang on,
nutritionalist.
You're all right. Quizzing Kirk about how it's pronounced.
For it. It's
What do you know
nutritionist.
about words?
Do I look like an expert in nutrition?
Look at you knowing about words.
I know nothing about words. I can't even say them without even write them or
We've
anything.
noticed.
Thank you.
But someone with the same qualification would then sit there and tell you that keto is bad for you, and so there's so many. You can find just as much negative as you can positive for everything. I'm just trying something different, and it's working, so I'm sticking with it.
That's what we said in a couple of episodes about it. Was, as in, there's no one diet that's for everybody's different.
Yeah.
And different.
Have you introduced any exercise at all yet?
I've tried to up my step count. I've tried to be a bit more thought process about upping my step count. Is what I've probably done at the minute, mainly through going for a round of golf.
Yeah. Hey,
Or
listen,
whatever,
any wins a
You
win.
could always put your coffee at one end of the kitchen and your sweeteners at the other end.
But yeah, that's the only thing I need to get back to the gym. It's just the timing, because I've swapped gyms to a nicer gym, to a closer gym. But the problem is that it closes at 8 o'clock, and I'm not getting home from work until 7:30.
Even some home workout stuff, just the really small things that you think that probably won't do anything. If you're working a muscle, it's burning some sort of energy.
Yeah,
you know what
absolutely. But what I am shocked at, boys,
Yes.
Yeah.
is that I had a telephone conversation a couple of weeks ago
Oh yeah.
with Mark.
With me.
No, other one.
With you.
Yeah, with me.
And
Are you saying that as if you don't speak to each other?
No. But I was shocked. I believe you've started trying keto, haven't you, Mark?
I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you?
I have got. I did it for a week and a half, and then I took the van away at the weekend and fell off the wagon royally. But I'm back on it again, and it's amazing.
I'm not quite sure you fell off. You stepped off.
No,
Yes.
I did what Jürgen did with a parachute without a parachute.
Guys, listen, honestly, it was so funny because leading up to sorry, I'll let you come back in a minute, Mark, but leading up to the him going away, so he always knew he was going away for the weekend and stuff like that, and he were on phone to me because obviously I've been doing keto a bit longer, so Mark's been ringing me and saying, what about this, what about that, and we've been sharing stories about it, and he kept saying, when I go away for the weekend, I'm gonna try and chill out a bit. I'm gonna still try and focus on it and stuff like that. And I'm very much like, look, life's for living, enjoy yourself or whatever. He's like, no, wherever I can, I'm gonna try and stick to it. He went away, I think, on the Thursday, in the afternoon. And by Thursday tea time, he sent me a picture of him eating a pot noodle.
Yeah.
I'm like, out of all the things to break your diet on, why waste it on a pot noodle?
Darcy had opened it, and she would make it, and she went, I don't really like this. And she said, shall I throw it in bin? And I was like, you can't waste that. Certainly not now I'm cheating.
Yeah, you
So I
can't
thought-
waste that 40 pence pot noodle.
So I had that as a starter.
Sounds like you're having riveting conversations when you ring each other.
Oh, very much so.
Have you had any... Obviously, you talked about the positive side effects. Have you had any negative side effects to it?
When I first went into ketosis in the first couple of days, and I've actually fell out of it once and had to go back into it again, and it happened on both cases. I got the shits.
Right.
Okay.
And obviously the first time could have been coincidence, but then when it happened again, it's probably something that's linked.
Okay.
And a bit of a heavy head at the beginning. Why have you?
So,
Dear. Do we feel a story coming on here, Mark?
strap in.
Here we go.
The other weekend, and it was the weekend before we were going away, so I'd been doing keto for 7 days at this point, and I felt amazing. My head was
Good,
high.
innit?
Yeah, you got almost like a natural high. You feel like your head is above where you normally would be. You just feel really clear-headed, don't you?
Yeah.
Energy levels are through the roof. My sleeping is incredible. I'm not feeling sluggish. Anyway, this I think it was a Sunday, and or was it the Saturday? Anyway, it was on the weekend, and we needed to. What was that? You playing the violin? I needed to pick some cards up, so we went to Retail World. For those of you that aren't local to Rotherham, Retail World is like a outdoor shopping centre.
I'm sure
I think they have Retail Worlds.
I'm going to say, I'm sure retail's the clue
They're
there.
called different things, but Parkgate Retail World, it's an outdoor shopping. They have one at Castleford, they've got them all over the country, with Lakeside, and one at, anyway. So we went there, and Helen said, right, I'm going to nip into, I think she was trying to get some trainers for Darcy. She was trying to get some trainers for Darcy, for school. And I said, right, I'll go and get the cards. So I set off on my way down to Card Factory. Walked into Card Factory, got my card, and I thought, Right, so
For those who don't know, up and down the UK, that's a shop that sells cards.
Yeah, very cheaply.
But they don't make them because it's not a factory.
It's not a factory.
No.
It's just a card shop.
You say that they might make them in the back.
I don't
anyway,
think they do.
as I get my card, I felt a bit of discomfort in my stomach, and I was like, oof, and I thought, I need toilet.
I thought it was a pricey card.
No, they're very anyway, and I thought I could do it. I need toilet, so I thought, right, I'll get this card and I'll go to toilets. Goes to checkout, and then there's just one guy queuing in front of me and one guy on this till. And I'm stood there, and then I just see the guy on the till press his buzzer, and he looks over the guy that he's serving and says to me, "Sorry, mate, I won't be too long." So I'm stood there.
Does
behind this guy.
he need
He's obviously-
toilet as well?
He's obviously called for some assistance. Maybe there's an issue with his till, or anyway. So I'm stood in this queue, and I'm thinking, I need toilet, and now I really need the toilet. So I said, "It's okay, mate," and I got the card, and I said, "I'll leave that there, and I'll come back for it." So I set off out of Card Factory, and I'm like, "Where's the nearest toilets?" So I walked all the way around to where Frankie and Benny's is, and I thought there were some toilets around the back, on the sort of built
there
into
is
the.
not.
Not anymore.
Well, there are.
Oh.
So I crossed the road, and then I went to Domino's. Not Domino, Subway, sorry. And as I went into Subway, it said, "Customer notice, please note there are no toilets. Please use the toilets next to the cash machine." Now, the cash machine was opposite where I thought the toilets where the toilets used to be. So I walked around past the cash machine to where the toilets were. There was a sign on the door that said, "Due to vandalism, the toilets are out of order." So I'm like, at this
I'm
point,
thinking you'd nearly shit yourself.
at this point, I needed the toilet. I was running and walking at the same time. You know that walk when you're trying to not move your cheeks too much? I was walking with some serious urgency. So I was like, what do I do here?
Morrison's.
So, it was too
I'm
far.
gonna
'Cause
say Morrison's a bit of a-
Morrison's is what, half a mile away up the other. It's got the complete other end of retail world. So I'm like, what do I do? So I thought, right, there's Popeyes round the corner. What used to be KFC. So I set off running round the side of Frankie and Benny's. There's no crossing points to get across the road. So I'm stood waiting for cars to stop. None of the cars are wanting to stop. So I'm like, come on. So then I just stepped out into the road, and I'm like putting my hand up, and cars are stopping. I went running into Popeyes, and I'm like, right, where are toilets? Goes running through Popeyes, opens the door, goes into the
You're right. No.
into the men's toilets. As I'm walking, I'm following a guy in.
Oh, is anyone?
We walk in through the door. He goes to the only cubicle, and I'm stood outside the cubicle. I'm like, and there's another guy in there already. There's two urinals, and this other guy stood at this one urinal. So he like looks at me, and this other guy's gone into the cubicle. I'm stood there thinking, what do I do now? I can't move. So I'm like, right, I'll pretend to go to the urinal as if I'm not, trying to keep some modesty and dignity. So I'm like, but I'm thinking, I can't relax to have a wee.
Absolutely.
Because if I do, then it's game over.
Hiroshima.
It's all game over. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to keep moving. So I goes outside the toilet, and I'm walking up and down the corridor outside, and I'm like, oh God, I can't believe this. I see a disabled toilet. Winner. Goes to try the door. The door's locked. I'm like, oh no. Goes back in, and I'm thinking, I'm hoping this guy's just having a wee in the cubicle. He's not. I can see his trainers, his feet, facing away from the toilet. I'm like, this is not happening. This is not happening. So I'm like, there's only one thing for it. So I was running out
Urinal.
the men's. No, I ran into the ladies.
well, you can nowadays. You can use any toilet. So you're right.
well.
I was running into the ladies. There's one cubicle, and it's open. Wow, what a sigh of relief. I goes in, closes the door, shuts the door, locks the door behind me. It's too late. It's too late.
Oh no!
I'm sat down on this toilet, and I'm like, right.
That's not an image.
If I can get away with Commando, I can deal with the rest of it.
Oh no!
I can't.
Oh no!
It's everywhere.
It's pebble dashed.
Right? I kick my shoes off,
What's in your shoes?
my socks. What? So I'm sat in this toilet cubicle, and I'm like, what do I do now? I'm stuck.
Does anybody know where you are?
No. Helen's still buying shoes for Darcy.
This is a perfect time for me.
So I'm sat there, and I'm like, this is horrendous. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I'm messaging Ellen. Ellen, I've got a problem. And she didn't reply. And then a couple of minutes later, she replies, what's the matter? I told her, I'm stuck in the toilet cubicle in Popeyes.
Well, go and buy me some clothes.
I need some boxer shorts, some trousers or shorts, and some socks. Right.
And
The next thing,
worse still, I'm in ladies' toilets.
this toilet is really brightly coloured. Like Popeyes, their brand is all orange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Inside the toilets is the same. So I'm sat there and I'm like, I can't believe this. Then the door opens to the toilet. I'm in the only cubicle. All I hear is this. Oh, mummy, isn't it orange in here? Oh. I'm sat there and I'm thinking, my heart sank and I'm like, oh no.
This
There's
does
me
not look good.
and this young girl and a mum. Anyway, she comes in and she's like that. Oh, it smells in here, mummy. I'm sat there and I'm thinking, this is not happening. And I'm thinking, right, be quiet. Be quiet.
When's your court case coming up?
She rattles the door, obviously. So I do this. As you know, let them know that there's somebody in there without trying to let them know that it's a blow.
In a metal voice.
Right. And then they're like, yeah, I know, it's taking a while, isn't it? And then the door closes and I can hear him disappear into the distance. And then the door opens and they come back in again. Mummy, it's been a long time, hasn't it? And I'm sat there and I'm like, oh no.
Are you sweating by now?
Really, but the worst I've ever. And I'm messaging Ellen and I'm saying, Ellen, you cannot believe. I am so embarrassed.
Ellen, come
and I'm
quick.
stuck in this toilet. And I'd messaged her before saying, I hope nobody comes in. These have been in twice now. Then literally another few minutes pass, and then this woman's going, I don't know what's going off. Is everything all right in there? And I'm sat there and I'm thinking, don't talk. I don't know what to do. What do I do?
Yes, I'm all right.
The next thing, she steps outside, and then I can hear her talking to somebody. She's saying, look, I don't know what's going off in there, but they've been in there for ages. Anyway, this woman comes in, and she goes, hello? Is everything all right in there? Do you need any help?
Oh my
And I'm sat
goodness.
there and I'm sat there and I went, right, you're probably not expecting a bloke's voice.
Oh my goodness.
I hear the woman and the daughter walk out, and then this woman's still there, and she's saying, is everything okay? And I'm saying, I really don't know what to say to you, but my wife is on her way with some things.
Oh my
Everything
goodness.
is okay. I'm really sorry. Then it just goes quiet, and the door closes, and she's gone. And I'm sat there, and I'm like, oh my word. Then the next thing, the door swings open, and I hear somebody coming in with a big paper bag, and it's Helen. She's been to Primark. She's got me some... And she's like shoving them under the door, and I'm like, Ellen, I said, I don't know what to do. And she went, well, she's outside, this woman, and I'm like, right, it's all right. And Ellen's like trying to calm things down. Yeah. So I obviously sort myself out and sort the area out and, you know, put everything into the bag that's left. So a paper bag. Primark bags are made of paper. So I'm like trying to cup it and maintain the incident. I walk out and the member of staff's just stood there looking at me.
Please tell me you gave her the paper bag. Thank you very much.
I walked up to, at this point, right, I'd not put the socks on, so I'd just got trainers on, these like fleece shorts, and it was freezing on that day, and my big padded jacket. So I looked like I'd been
You
out,
look like Rob.
like Rob. Yeah, like I'd been out streaking. And I just looked and I said, I'm ever so sorry, love. I suffer with IBS, and I'm really sorry. And she went, no, it's okay. And I just literally, head down, walked straight out. I was honestly never been as embarrassed in all my life.
Oh, God.
Mate.
That is a story.
Yeah.
And that's embarrassing,
And
isn't
so, yeah, keto's really good in some ways, but you have to prepare yourself.
Oh, well, I'm happy somebody else has experienced. I mean, I didn't. No, I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I actually said to her, I said, look, I'm really sorry. I suffer with IBS, and all the toilets on here are all closed. And then she went, it's okay, it's all right. And I was just, sweating profusely.
Yeah.
I'm just so embarrassed. Stormed, and obviously there's people eating. I'm like, head down, because no doubt people are looking.
And I mean, I'm guessing maybe people could smell it if you're carrying a bag of poo through a restaurant. Maybe.
Well,
I mean, I don't.
I'd managed to. Anyway.
Wow.
But yeah, that was eventful.
And have you been back to Popeye since? Have you been back?
No.
I didn't even buy anything from there, did you? I didn't even buy anything.
No,
Don't
and I reckon that member of staff probably handed a notice in and went, I can't cope with this. I only came in to sell chicken.
I mean, I was going to say that I was contemplating keto, but I'm not now.
Well,
I'm all
even
right.
I'm contemplating trying it because it sounds amazing.
Oh,
well, apart from, I don't mean that story.
No,
but
no. I mean, everything I don't know. I don't know what to say to you. Mark summed it up. As far as I'm aware, Mark's never really tried proper dieting. He's tried eating healthier or watching what he eats or cutting out his snacking or increased his fitness, I believe.
Yeah.
And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, please, that you mainly tried it because of what I'd said regarding how it made you feel.
Yeah.
Like
And obviously, you know.
yeah. But almost that
stomach,
was
yeah.
a side effect to lose a bit of weight or
Yeah.
a couple of pounds. But the main reason was that clarity of thought, that this, that, other.
Yeah.
And
And not feeling bloated and that sort of thing.
it warms my heart to know that Mark has tried it and has had that positive effect.
Yeah.
I can't. Is it something that I could do forever? No. And that's purely and simply because the things that you do have to sacrifice for it, I'm not willing to give up for the rest of my
your
life.
life. Yeah.
Okay, simple as that. And the feeling that you have and stuff like that is amazing, absolutely. But fundamentally, to cut out bread, sandwiches, pasta, pizza,
Donuts, cookies.
Donuts. Well, yeah, but even just the amount of things that it is, sushi. I love sushi. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I can't even have sushi. Do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So I don't mean that I'll do this till I've lost weight and then all of a sudden start consuming the amount of carbs that I used to eat. One thing that it has made me realise more than anything is to reduce the amount of carbs, even in general.
It makes you feel so much better, doesn't it?
Without a shadow of doubt. And what I would say, Mark, especially because you don't eat loads,
No, not particularly.
and you're not an overly fussy eater.
No, not particularly. No.
So I would urge anyone to give it a go, just to experience that.
Well,
Yeah.
at least if I do try it, at least I'll be prepared for the toilet.
Yeah.
Because it's a situation. I know you didn't get caught short, but
No.
you had an incident.
Carry
And
a
Mark-
nappy.
So exactly. I'll do that. I'll carry a nappy
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah.
And a toilet roll or something, some change of clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'll
that.
do.
But changing direction slightly, and it is. Well, it's not slightly. It's completely. I'm putting the handbrake on here and doing a handbrake turn. We're looking on social media of it. You know when you're like just scrolling through videos.
Yeah.
And one
Good
of the-
scrolling, yeah.
And one, obviously, Tom Hardy's quite big at the minute, isn't he? Because he's in this new mob.
Yes.
Mobland. Yeah.
Mobland.
Yes.
Mobland.
And it was this video, and it was called, and it just said something about professional fans, and I thought, what the hell are professional fans?
Oh, okay.
So I clicked on it and opened it up, and
That
he's
sounds like an upgrade from OnlyFans.
Or a downgrade.
and it's basically Tom Hardy stood on the outside of. It's almost like on the red carpet, but on the outside of on the inside of the fence, if you like, and all the fans are on the opposite side of the fence, and he's walking down signing things, and all you can hear is people shouting, "Tom, sign us this! It's $200 on eBay. Sign us this! It's worth 150." And they're like shouting at him to sign
As
stuff
the value of what it's
and
worth.
giving the value of how much they get for it to sell it.
Really?
Wow.
I was absolutely dumbfounded. I mean, I know it exists.
No way.
And I know that people get the shirt signed and stuff to stick them on eBay, and I get it exists. But to actually tell the person that you're doing it, please sign me this because it's going to make me some money.
So
I'd never-
blatantly.
blatantly. I were absolutely stumped.
That is unbelievable.
Really?
that.
And when you watch this video, did it persuade Tom to? Were you like going, I'm going to sign that because it's going to be too?
It was signing bits and
or was
pieces.
just signing,
It looked
signing
quite
it
serious,
randomly?
and he was just signing randomly. Yeah, I don't know how much he was succumbing to the people that were shouting.
Yeah,
'cause there
yeah.
were just so many arms coming, like holding stuff out to him. But you could hear at least half a dozen, plain as day, shouting how much stuff was worth.
And what was this in this country, or were somewhere in America?
Well,
or something?
somebody, I'm sure it was dollars they shouted, so it wouldn't have been, would it?
Okay. I'm going to say I can't imagine British people shouting. Not, it's more of an American
I
thing.
might be wrong. It might have been English and it might have
Well,
been
I
pounds,
don't-
but
Yeah.
But if you get a chance to
That's
find the
amazing.
video, honestly, you're almost embarrassed
The
on
aud-
behalf of them, but they're just not bothered because
The
they want to make the money off it.
audacity.
Yeah,
Well, just like just that mindset.
Yeah. I
have
know
you
it- sorry.
Sorry, no, go on.
I was just going to say, I was talking about. I mean, obviously, I know we've talked about fame before, and obviously, don't want to go too in deep. But could you imagine being in that situation when you're walking down the street and people are shouting at you and saying, "Please sign us this, give me some money"?
Well, I was just about to
Wow,
say,
yeah.
have you seen the video with Tom Hanks and his wife?
No.
So the
I think I might have seen this.
I actually don't know how old the video is, but Tom Hanks looks like he looks now. Do you get what I mean? So it's not, and he's walking through an airport.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Have you seen it? He's walking
Yeah.
through an airport. Now, Tom Hanks is quite.
You're not talking about that film he did, is it?
No,
Where he's in the-
no, he wasn't living there.
No.
Great film, by the way.
Yeah.
Really under.
I
really
didn't know you were
under-
married to Catherine Zeta-Jones.
So we're walking through airport. Now, Tom Hanks is quite well known for being quite placid, very nice
Yeah.
guy. You know,
That's the word I'd use, placid.
yeah. You know, I think he turned up to someone's wedding once because he met them while they were out on a run. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He invited- you know, so. But we're walking through, and obviously being hounded by paparazzi or anything. And he's walking along in his second, but then they pushed too far, and they like knocked into his wife.
Oh.
And he lost his shit.
Oh, I think I have seen this video. Yeah,
He
yeah.
lost it. He turned. He's like, "Will you back off?" And everyone was just stunned. Everybody just all these
Yeah,
paparazzi
yeah.
just.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm not. You know, that's my wife." You talk, and I think it does, like what you say about that what they have to put up with these
Yeah.
people, especially people that are really seriously famous.
Yeah.
You know, and it's almost as though we have this right,
Yeah.
right, and although I do get it that there is an element of if they make money from the public, there's got to be some give and take from that. But these people are still just human beings.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't believe you've both said this tonight. Literally, 3 days ago, I saw a post by Robbie Williams. Let me, I'm going to find it.
Oh.
And because honestly, and I even thought I need to bring this up at some point, and you've just I've walked straight into it. Give me 1 second. So he put this post on. So right, okay.
On what? Rob, sorry.
Instagram.
Oh yeah.
And he seems to have done this quite a bit recently. It's like he's writing things on his notes on his phone, and he's screenshotting them and putting them on as a post, because obviously you can't really write a post on Instagram. And it's obviously a way of him dealing with certain things or getting things off his chest, and he's saying them. And so I'm going to read it. It is quite long, but I'm not going to read the whole thing. So bear with me. So, I'm sat on a domestic flight going across America. I've had 3 interactions so far with fellow passengers. One of them handed me a lovely note, kind words about my documentary, and then asked for a photo. I wrote a note back. I explained I'd been up since 4:30 a.m. I had 2 hours sleep and wrangled 4 kids to the airport. I've got bags under my eyes and I'm dealing with anxiety. I explained that if they came and took a photo with me, my anxiety would spike, because then the whole cabin would start wondering who I am, and I'm not famous here. That kind of attention would only pile more anxiety on top of my already thriving being outside unease. I didn't say no. I wrote back, offered a letter, and said, lots of people have photos with me, but no one's got one of these. Then a lovely steward came down and said there's a man at the back of the plane who was a big fan of Rock DJ and wondered if he could come and take a photo. I wrote a similar note on the back of my plane ticket and said that when we land, I'll be trying to shepherd 4 children. Again, I didn't say no. I just hoped the note might be enough. As I was writing that one, another passenger walked up and just asked outright for a photo. I obliged. These days, I see it as being of service. If it makes someone happy, and I can, then I'll do my best to facilitate that happiness. I didn't always see it that way, but I do now, mostly. Still, I think there needs to be a caveat, so let me try to explain. This is dodgy terrain for a famous person to give context around anything short of course, it's my duty and right thing to do, is risky. There's a kind of unspoken law as a celebrity you should be accessible 24/7, greet all strangers like you're the mayor of the best town anyone's ever visited, make sure their wishes are met, whatever they are. Otherwise, you're a see you, yeah. There's no in between. I've seen the argument. These people put you where you are, so you should. But that thinking's off. I reckon over 50%, probably much more, couldn't name one of my albums, let alone say they've bought a ticket to my show. There's no more fans of me than they are of the Leaning Tower of Pisa or Big Ben. They're fans of fame, as am I, but not necessarily me. Now listen, if we cross paths in the wild and you are a fan of me, I want you to tell me. That means a lot. I'll make time. I've got gratitude for that. It warms my heart when I feel I've warmed yours. But here's an open question. Do you think there should be a limit to how many people can access you in a day? Is there a number that's too much? Or is it infinite? As many as there are, that's how many you should serve. I think people imagine these moments as one-off, isolated things. One person, one photo, one request. Not the 10 that happened that morning or the 5 still to come that evening. Every day. Now, it goes on.
Already, I'm picturing two things. One, is he walking around with a counter above his head that says, there's one left?
Yeah.
Or alternatively, is he walking around like a bus conductor with one of those machines that they used to have in doctor's surgeries that say, take a ticket and take a seat?
Take a seat,
And you go,
yeah.
I'm sorry, there's no tickets left.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you say you weren't going to read it all out?
And,
'Cause that were a lot.
I thought he got into his memoirs.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 more
paragraphs.
Paragraphs of that.
Really?
And I'm not going to. If you want to, if you go on Robbie Williams on Instagram, you can read it. But it just
by the way, for our American listeners, Robbie Williams is a singer that used to be part of a quite a famous boy band called Take That.
Yeah. But when you read that, when you
To
think,
our American listener.
yeah.
Because we have got one.
It does make
Donald
you
Trump.
think, doesn't it? To live that lifestyle, that it must be exhausting.
Like on Notting Hill, when Hugh Grant opens the door and there's all those paparazzi,
Yeah.
and he slams the door, and then Reece Evans goes out in his underpants, and he's doing like poses and stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun. That for me,
Brilliant.
He does make a good point though. Like in that what he said is that people want photographs with them, and like they do with lots of stars, although they might not be a fan. And that is the difference. Autographs. It's a good point though, isn't it? Because let's say I saw somebody famous, like Tom Hardy or whatever. I know we were just talking about. I'm not a fan of his, but I'm like, we'll have a photo with him.
Hey, Tom, I'm not a fan of yours.
But do you know what I mean? I'm having a photo with him because he's famous, because of the fame, not because I'm a fan. I don't watch his videos.
However, people are taking it a step further because you, I believe, knowing you as I know you, will have a photo of him because he's famous, but so you can say to yourself, you've had a photo with Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Whereas it's getting to a point now, and I think this is probably what he was alluding to in his passage, that what a lot of people do would have a photo with Tom Hardy, sometimes not even knowing who he is, but know he's famous, just so they can post it on Instagram or social media to say that they've had the photo with this person.
Absolutely. Yeah.
To show other people that
Yeah.
look who I bumped into, look who I've met.
And that's something that really, and just moving away slightly from the fame thing, what really does made in on a lot of the walks that I like to go on or liked to go on, they're getting hijacked by the Instagrammers that want to be there to have the selfie in that location, not because they want to do the walk. They want to show that, I'm at the top of there, I'm at the top of there. And there are places now, and there was a guy again on social media, and he'd taken a photo of a full moon. It was a red moon over Snowdon. It looked stunning. Now, obviously, this opportunity was coming around, and there were hundreds of people. You could see almost like little lemmings across the silhouette of the top of Snowdon with the moon behind it. And you were like, all those people, and they've been queuing to get up there, and it's like, but they'll have only been up there so they can take the photo and put it on social media, and it's just enjoy it.
Well, that brings a good point, because obviously the Pope died recently, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
And obviously people are going to pay the respects. But half at time, I mean, yes, there are people paying the respects, but half the time they go in to have a nosy because he's in an open coffee and have a
Well, it was on the news, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was on the news about people
just
taking
taking
selfies.
Yeah.
So they're taking a selfie of them in
Smiling
with him by background.
It's just ridiculous.
And you're going, they're not paying the respects. They go in because it's social media
It's a day off work.
And a day off work because there were a little kid with his family there, and they asked him about it, and he went, well, I've never seen a dead person, but it's just nice to be part of history, and I've had a photograph.
Yeah.
And to him, it's like part of history because he's died.
It's like this show-off culture, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going away from my own thing here, but there was a comedy video on Instagram, probably on TikTok as well, of a guy. I think he's a comedian. I think he's also either blind or because he played in I don't know what you call it. Partially sighted football team in Olympics or whatever, but anyway, the video he made was him knocking on a video of himself talking to himself just to show off, and he knocks on this door and he goes, "Hi mate, yeah, I've just been for a run, yeah, heart rate 1/9, yep, lapsed on the first corner, Total time, this many miles. Don't know. Yeah, I've got a map here of my run. Don't know if you're interested in it. And he's like, I'm sorry, what are you telling me this for? I'm just going round all my ex-colleagues, friends, ex-school friends, just letting them know what I've done. And it's so true, isn't it? Like, I mean, obviously what he's alluding to is people putting on Instagram their walks, the runs that they've done and stuff. Like anyone cares what that you've done a run and how well you've done.
You see it a lot in Formula One. It's quite a big topic of conversation. It has been for about a couple of years with Formula One. That as Formula One has become more popular, more and more celebrities are going to the Formula One, and because they're celebrities, they're getting like paddock passes and garage passes, and they're on the grid, and this and other, and it really winds Formula One fans up. It really winds them up
because they don't get that opportunity.
Because they don't get that opportunity, so there's a little bit of jealousy. I get that, but then there's also the element of the. If a fan did want that opportunity, it costs a fortune, okay? But then because that person that's experiencing that is not getting any enjoyment out of it. There's a famous reporter, Martin Brundle, that used to be a racing driver, that does a grid walk, and it's been a thing for years and years and years that he goes up and down the grid, talks to the drivers, talks to the engineers as they're on the grid, but also maybe captures some people. There's people that...
I'm guessing he's got a microphone and he's talking to camera.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's a thing.
Yeah.
As part of Sky F1. And there's been celebrities that are Formula One fans. So like Gordon Ramsay's been around for years, on there. Jeremy Clarkson, obviously, but these are genuinely, he stops and talks. And what was happening was he was stopping to talk to famous people, singers, rappers or whatever, and they were shunning him.
Yeah.
They were refusing to talk to him. And the reason why they were refusing to talk to him, A, because they didn't know who he were.
Yeah.
Okay. And B, they were scared of, he did it on purpose. He would ask them questions about
to catch him out
to Formula One.
Yeah.
So they would avoid him. They've actually made it a rule now. The FIA have made it a rule that if you're on the grid and Martin Brundle or the press want to talk to you, then you have to talk to them.
And then, but what if not? Is there someone there ready to eject you?
Well, I don't know.
How do you police that?
Exactly.
Timmy Mallet running around with a hammer.
I don't know. But
or a mallet even.
But just going on that, you see that they're only there because they're famous, and they only want to go because it's something that's popular,
seen to be there.
and they want to be seen to be there.
Yeah.
But just going full circle, Rob, with what you were saying, I don't know how any of these people that are super, super, super famous, I'm talking about people like Taylor Swift, and Tom Hanks, or what, these people that are global superstars.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about somebody off Towie or whatever.
Yeah.
People that are global superstars.
Or even Robbie Williams to some degree, because although he is very, very famous, there are places he could go and they wouldn't know he is.
Yeah. But I'm talking about people that are globally famous. I don't know how they get through a day.
No.
I don't know how they get through a day. I don't know how they, and I think it's wrong. I'm a big believer that, yes, if you are paid by the public, but you are still providing a service. You are still providing a service. You are, you need to do the element of it to make sure you've got a fan base so they carry on buying into your service, and that's fine. But everybody's human.
Yeah,
I think
enough is never enough.
I think the same about politicians. I do.
Yeah.
People think they've got this right, or the royals or whatever. The politicians go on holiday, and all of a sudden, they're having pictures of them on the beach and stuff like that. Their job is a politician. Their job, that is their job. Everybody in this country, should I say, is entitled to annual leave. They're entitled to take a break from their job.
Slandered, aren't they, for
go
having
on
that
holiday. Now don't get me wrong. Yes, they are. They have an element of responsibility that they always need to live up to. That comes with the job, and that's absolutely fine. But imagine us here having a holiday and all of a sudden getting pictured on the beach or whatever, and look at what trunks they're wearing.
It's a big
look
thing,
at what,
isn't it?
Look at what
there's been female.
Look how
famous
out
people
of shape they are
for years.
Yeah.
getting photographed on a beach, either in a bikini or in whatever scenario, and it's front page news.
And it normally comes with something like, how out of shape is such and such, and you think, mate, they're not in a film at the minute.
Yeah. But we're right. But who fuels this? It's the bit like the Amazon and the high street thing. We've no high street shops. because people are buying off Amazon, but that's because we're buying things off Amazon.
Yeah.
So I completely
The
agree.
consumers, the consumers,
consumers.
yeah.
So we're consumers. If we didn't buy these magazines or newspapers with these celebrities in, then they're like, well, we don't put
Or
that in.
click on the
Or
link,
click on the
so,
link.
yeah.
So it is I mean, I agree. It's a chicken and egg situation.
Yeah, I think
and there is the level of when you're unknown, if you whatever, and you want to become a celebrity, you almost want to do anything. You turn up opening an envelope to be famous.
Yeah.
But then there's a point where it twists where you go, well, I've got my fame, I don't want to do that. And I'm not saying that they should be doing it, but there is an element of, they've got to have a private life.
Yeah.
But going back to the Robbie Williams thing, another good point with that is that I understand you don't want to be disturbed because people just think, well, it's one photo, it's 2 minutes, but as a fan, if you like, when can you go up to it? Because you don't really know when to approach him, when not to approach him.
No.
So, like, I understand if he's on a plane, you probably not. But if he's walking in the street, would you? Or
I-
do you
I
only
think-
approach him
I
maybe
think
at
there's-
a concert?
I
or-
think there's nothing wrong with asking the question. And I also think that there's nothing wrong, or a famous person should accept that part of it, that if you are famous, you're going to get recognised, and there's going to be people that want photos or autographs or whatever. And I don't think should ever be anything wrong with somebody turning around and saying, do you mind if I have a photograph, or do you mind, can I have an autograph, or whatever?
But just be respectful.
But be respectful of the answer.
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you've got, and a lot of these people, it's self-entitlement into that we always come back to.
Yeah.
And you have to be socially aware, I think. When in a scenario, let's say you're in a restaurant and you see...
Let's say you're in a toilet cubicle with covered in... Sorry.
Yeah, but you're in a restaurant, you're having something to eat, and you see someone famous opposite you, and he's sat with his wife and family or whatever, and they're having something to eat.
Yeah.
The last thing they want is you going over and saying, "Excuse me, mate, can I have an autograph? Can I have my photo?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm just having my tea, mate, with my family."
Yeah.
You know.
Common sense,
But
though, innit?
equally, on the flip, I suppose, if you see, I don't know, somebody in high spirits and they're sort of bouncing through Meadowhall, if you like, and I know people like Anthony Joshua have been in that scenario, and some, famous sports stars and whatever have been seen in those sort of places, and you can tell from the mannerisms whether they'll be open to being approached. And, you might wave to them and they might wave back and smile, and then, but if they don't make eye contact with you, it's almost an indication, right? Don't bother me. I mean, I've got to be somewhere.
I was once in one of my hotels, and I was sat working in the lobby, and I looked up, and when you think you see someone famous, but they're just walking past, and you thought, was that person? Yeah.
Well, was it?
And so I sat there. Next thing, he walks back in, and as he walked back in,
He didn't go, "Yes, it is me."
I caught a look of him like full on in the face, and I thought, it is. I'm delaying a little bit because I forgot his real name. So he's
Saint Nicholas.
His real name?
He was in a red suit.
Nick Mohammed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the
From Ted Lasso.
comedian guy.
So
yeah.
the comedian and
Yeah,
the guy that from
actor.
Ted Lasso and the actor and stuff
I
like
think
that.
he's going to be. I've heard he's going to be in the new.
He is.
He is.
Traitors.
And what a
Oh,
lineup. We'll
right.
come back to that in a minute,
Yeah.
but what a lineup. And I'm a big fan of Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of him. I think he's...
I've not seen him catch a horse or a cow.
I don't know who he is.
I know who he is. I
He's
just
a
don't know
cowboy
about
with a hoop on the end of a rope.
Oh, that you see,
If you saw his face, I think
too
you
much.
just.
just over
Too
the
much.
over the head.
I weren't even listening. Who is he?
So
In Ted Lasso.
Ted
Who is
Lasso. So the guy that's his sidekick
Oh, yeah.
that goes off
Yeah,
to
yeah,
West Ham.
Yeah.
Him.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
And I think he's a comedy genius for starters, but then I think he's great in Ted Lasso. And I was in this dilemma. And
Do I?
up until right at that moment, I was just about to get up from my table and go over to him to shake his hand. I didn't want anything off him.
And he flagged you off.
And I didn't want anything off him. I didn't. I was going to get up, shake his hand,
But he was stood at reception complaining.
and,
you were like, I'm off.
and compliment him on Ted Lasso
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And as I just got the guts to get up and do it, his family came down,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I thought, no,
It's not the
No.
place, is it? Then?
Yeah.
it's not.
Because you
it's-
use common sense, which
I used common
And then
sense.
thought,
Do
that's
you know
not
what? I'm
right.
sure, or certainly how he's perceived, and let's put it to the fact that this was a Holiday Inn. So this guy is certainly is very humble.
Yeah.
Do you know
Or
what I mean?
tight.
Yeah. Or maybe just wanted to be out the way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, you've just said exactly what I was about to say. In that, why is it not enough to be able to say to that person that you clearly are a fan of and appreciate them as a person and their work, to say, I just want to say that I'm a big fan. I really love your work. I particularly like such and such. I'm really grateful for some of the stuff you're doing, and it's a real pleasure to meet you.
Yep.
And that be enough.
Make it about you. Make it about you and the interaction that you're having.
Yeah. And that you're just grateful that you've actually seen him in person, and you've actually been able to go up and say those words to him or her, you know, and for them to say, well, thank you very much. That's really kind. And actually, if they recognise that of you, for them to say, would you like a photograph? Because they know that that's probably what you want. And the fact that you haven't gone to them and said, can I have a photograph?
Can you imagine? Would you like a photo? No.
Yeah.
They should make that law, shouldn't they? That's it. Just bring it to law.
Yeah. You know, and why is that not enough? An example, at Glastonbury, I think I mentioned this when I said it, I saw Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
And I am a big fan of Kate Winslet. I think she's a phenomenal actress. I love a lot of the work she's done.
Actor. No, I'd say actress anymore.
That's very true. I'm glad you picked me up on that.
Yeah, you see. I challenge that behaviour.
Yes,
I still don't know what's wrong with actress. It's a word.
That's a different conversation. And the temptation to not ask her for a photograph, that didn't even enter my head. All I thought was, I'd love to go up to her and just say, Kate, I just want to say I'm a big fan of your work. And, you know, I'd have probably mumbled and talked shit for an hour.
Stop swearing on this podcast, you will you?
No, sorry. Because it's me. But,
You selfish son, you could have had two in you on that door.
But I honestly thought, do you know what? No, she's at Glastonbury. She's here for the same reason that I'm here.
To make a YouTube video.
Yeah. and it's not the place. I almost see it as Glastonbury's a bit. I feel as though it's uncool at Glastonbury to go up to a celebrity, because it's almost like there is a lot of them there. You see them, quite a lot of them, and you just think, no. Oh, that's certainly what I thought. No, I'm not gonna. And I didn't do it.
Well, actually, I think I've shared it before on a previous podcast. That literally I sat next to someone extremely famous in LA.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and my reaction to that at the time was to play it cool and calm.
Buy him a beer.
And I bought him a beer.
Yeah.
You know,
It didn't actually for you wanted a photograph.
no, it
did
didn't. No. But I think it's going back to what we've all said. I think it is a case of using a bit of common sense, understanding these people are human beings, you know, and they know that they're in the public light, and they're going to expect it. And almost want it to a degree in certain moments, of
he
course.
says that, didn't he? He said, if you do think it, say it. Come, I'll enjoy hearing it.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it crosses the line in, like we've spoke about in many of things. You know, it's just this entitlement thing. It's this almost like you are my property. You know, we have the same kind of things when you hear it. You hear it all the time about, for instance, I'll say it again, politicians. You know, or police officers. When you see police officers in the street and people are shouting, "We pay your wages." No, that's not how it works. That's not how the economy works.
You could be shouting that to teachers and doctors.
Exactly.
But
it's just
it doesn't work like that.
This thing, you know, politicians, they should do this and this because we pay them, and it's just so single-mindedness. And you know, again, I saw a video. I think it was The Rock. That was in like a crowd. I think they were watching like a sporting game or whatever, and somebody behind him just leant over and put his arm around him to take a photo, but like almost like made him jump because
why would you expect that?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But it's almost so that this is what these people. So imagine just going out into public and almost being free game for anyone to be able to touch you, grab you, take your photo or whatever, and if you don't, get absolutely roasted for it.
Well, when I DJ, that's what people do to me. They come, and I don't mean because I'm famous, but they come. I mean, Mark will experience. I mean, you've all DJ where people come to you and they put their, you know,
their
particularly blokes
will
will put their arm. All right, mate. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Go away. Why are you touching me?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it happens. But while we're talking about famous people, right? I want to know what you think about people that are known as legends. You know,
Oh.
when they talk about famous, but they'll go like a chat show. They'll go, right, this week we've got on. You know, I'm trying to think of somebody famous. So I don't know, Jonathan Ross. We've got Jonathan Ross.
The Jonathan Ross show.
Well,
Go on, mate.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, we've got Jonathan Ross, the legend.
not thought
the
about this,
legend.
have you?
No, I've just thought of legends. But do you not think that
Who else
legends?
is on this? Graham Norton.
Yeah, yeah.
Parky.
But do you not think that he's dead? But do you not think legends is bantered about, thrown around too much for when the? Because sometimes I'll watch a show, and they'll use the word legend for someone. I'm like, I don't think they're a legend.
Where's the bar that sets them as a legend? Is
Yeah.
it how
Yeah.
long they've been in the industry? Is it what they've achieved? Is it?
Well,
when's the-
I can tell you what I think makes a legend.
Sorry, I'll come to your point. Or particularly in this country, we'll say national treasure.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, why, like Joanna Lumley, she gets, national treasure. And I do sometimes think, well, she's all right, but she's not done anything for a long time. So why is she a national treasure?
Well, I always think a treasure has been something that's really old.
What they usually
Maybe
are.
that's what they're
Well,
saying.
it is.
It's
What they usually
somebody
are.
who's been a staple, isn't it, throughout so long. Now they're not going to do it until they die, but they'll have done it for so long. I suppose. David, what's his name?
Oh, you're getting like me now.
Coulthard.
Hey,
Coulthard.
David Williams.
no. Del
David,
Boy.
David Beckham.
Oh, Frost.
David Jason.
Jason.
David Frost.
He's David Frost, isn't he?
Yeah.
David Jason, yeah,
I've heard him.
people would call him a national treasure, wouldn't they? Because
Yeah.
they've sort of seen him from a very young age
Again, old.
in sitcoms. He is
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
but he was almost a staple of TV comedy.
I think he's always looked old. He seems to have always looked
Have
old.
you never watched Open All Hours?
Oh, God, what a program.
Yes. Yeah, but I bet he was probably in his 20s. He looked like he was in his 40s. But he's always looked older, hasn't he? Maybe not.
Anyway,
No,
can we get
me.
back to my point? What
I-
were you going to say about legends?
I think what makes a legend is somebody that will be remembered after they're dead.
Right, so therefore, I'll come back on another episode and I'll list all these people that's been classed as legends on shows that I've watched, and you'll say, no, they're not a legend, no, they're not a legend, they're not a
It's
legend.
an opinion thing, isn't it?
It is, but I think on TV particularly, they just banter it, they just throw it around too much. I'm like, they're not legends, stop using that term.
Yeah.
Even national treasures, I'm like, they're not a national treasure.
Yeah.
Stop it, stop using it.
So tonight on the Saturday Night Show, we've got this old fart who used to be in the TV in the 70s.
I mean, some of these.
I'm sure they'd love
Some
that.
of these legends have hardly done anything. I mean, I bet I could read out some of these names. Not now because I can't remember. And Rob, bless him, would go, "Never heard of him."
We should
And
play
I'm
a
like,
game.
"Well,
Just
they're
Rob.
probably-
Yeah, we need a new
Just
feature,
Rob.
don't
Just
we?
Rob.
Legend or legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should put that on as board, on a spin the wheel. But what's your thoughts about this? About legends and national treasures? It's just banting around too much.
It is, but I think that's what it is on TV, where, especially on chat shows or whatever. People are trying to find, what are they called, superlatives.
Superlatives.
Yes, thank you.
I've just thought of somebody. Well, I watched the other day. She on.
Big Brother.
No. Anyway, I'll tell you the name. Sue Pollard.
Mm-hmm.
National treasure.
Yeah.
I mean,
She was
Do you know who she is?
she's on Loose Women.
No.
No.
She was on Loose Women. She was
No.
on Vanessa. She was on, and they went, "Oh, we've got a national treasure, Sue Pollard," and I'm like, I like her, but she's not a national treasure. Do you know who she is?
I'm struggling to work out. who she
That's
is.
my point.
So who would you class as a national treasure?
I'd have to. My brain's a bit slow. I need to think about it. But I wouldn't class Sue Pollard. Would you? Do you know who she is? Do you know who she is?
Yes.
Yeah, I do know she is.
Now,
yeah.
the thing is, she was on TV for a hell of a long time, different shows that were staple in people's lives. She was, and I think in all of them, alongside Paul Shane,
Yeah.
who's no longer with us. And he was from Rotherham, wasn't he, Paul
Yeah,
Shane?
yeah.
He used to
In
drink in my
fact, I
local
think
pub
was
all
Sue
the time.
Pollard from Doncaster.
Who?
Sue Pollard.
Well, she might be, but
Anyway,
I mean, she's a lovely lady, but she's not a national treasure. She's just.
I can't have an opinion until you tell me somebody that you do think is a national treasure.
I think
Okay,
I've got no.
alright,
I've got no.
Okay,
the thing is, and granted they've
I'll
been
think
paid
of
for
some
doing
more.
so, Mark, but they spent so much time of their time on our televisions. They've committed a lot of their working
but-
life to entertaining people.
Well, I disagree with you. Yeah. She did
No, she
IGI.
did.
That's it.
No,
She's
she
not.
didn't.
What else has she done?
She did the one where he's a butler and she's a maid.
Something, my lord.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good night, my lord.
Good. Yeah, I know which one you
Oh,
mean.
thank you, my lord.
But again, not a really famous sitcom, is it? It's not repeated.
It was Croft and somebody, the two comic writers.
Yeah, David Croft and somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they did Dad's Army. They did All You Been Served.
They did a series
IDI.
of different comedies, and they appeared in quite a few of them. And I think if you've done that for sort of 20, 30, 40 years, then
I completely disagree.
Good for you.
IDI was the only program that she really did. All the others are just throwaway sitcom crap.
See, I thought the one where she was a maid and Paul Sheehan was a butler or a fellow. I don't know.
Fellow maid.
Fellow maid, yeah. I thought that were better than IDI, but
Well, listen, that's fine. But
can't believe we're talking about telly again. We're not a TV review podcast.
Listen,
Anyway,
Mark,
here we go.
I've just found it out now. A legend can be described as the explanatory part that tells you what the symbols, colours, or... no, sorry, wrong one. Didn't do that one. Yeah.
You mean a map?
A legend is someone who is extremely famous or admired for their achievements, especially in sports, music, or entertainment. For example, Michael Jordan is a
And Sue
basketball
Pollard.
legend.
For example.
So maybe it's achievements that they're going by.
Okay, but so Sue Pollard shouldn't be on that list.
Who would be on your list?
That's
Well,
what I'm saying.
I'd
I
have to- it would just
I can't give it balance.
Don't say Black Lace.
No, I'd have to think of someone.
Yeah,
Michael Jackson's a legend.
Yes,
Yeah.
but if we're going on that, Sue Pollard's on the same level.
Well, no, because now hold on a minute. Let's not get too mixed up with what we're talking about. Sue Pollard wasn't
National
introduced
treasure.
as a legend. She was
National-
introduced as a national treasure, which, in other words, she is a treasure of the nation. So, in other words, because she's English and British, and then was well known and well founded and did some very popular things in the past, that she's treasured by the nation. She's a national treasure.
Right,
So what I'm saying is I don't really have an opinion on it because it's just a descriptive word to somebody that has been around, especially in the entertainment world, for a long time.
Yeah.
Now, if you gave me an example of someone that is a national treasure, then I might sit here and go, well, yeah, you're right. You can't put Sue Pollard in the same category as that person.
David Attenborough.
Yes, national treasure.
National treasure.
Yeah, and he is.
Yes.
But so Sue Pollard.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah,
It's completely different.
Do you know what? I'd take that argument. I've got no argument against that.
So what you're saying is, you can't be a legend unless you've been a broadcaster for 70 years.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
No, we're talking about national treasures.
What did I say?
Legend.
Oh, yeah. No, all right, so you can't be a national treasure unless you've been doing something for as long as David Attenborough.
Well,
Is that the measuring stick?
Basically, yes. You've got to be.
So we've only got one national treasure.
we've got low. I can't think of him.
He's about 140 years old.
Well,
Is David Beckham a national treasure?
No, because he's not been doing it for 80 years.
Because I think he might be.
He's sort of borderline for me. It's a bit borderline.
I mean, he might be classed as an
That was
international
Madonna.
treasure.
Mark's going to end up changing his feature from dead or alive to treasure or not
think I
national
should.
treasure.
I need to think of some more famous people,
Yeah, you do.
and I'll do it in the next episode.
Yeah, come more prepared
I'm
next
just going
time.
to stare at you till you think of some.
Okay, well,
I like it when you squirm.
Shall I Google? Let me Google.
Yeah, Google.
Like what Bob does.
Or
Let me
Chat
type-
GPT, it's probably better.
Let me type in.
Have you
Go on,
got Chat
what are you typing
GPT?
in, Mark?
Yeah, I have, but
Right,
What
to
are you
use it.
typing? For the audience, what are you typing?
I'm typing national treasures
National treasures.
UK.
Amethyst.
That's what
Aquamarine.
it comes up with. Right. What about Michael Caine?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
National treasure.
National treasure.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Because he's
Come
so
on,
big.
then. So-
Because
Can
he's
I
old.
just say before you start this list, right? Are we going to agree on all these and the only problem you've got is they've called Sue Pollard a national
No,
treasure?
I think so far the only people that are legends and national treasures are blokes.
Go on,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
on. Is
go
that
on.
it?
Yeah,
Is
no,
that all they came up with?
Give us a woman. Give us a woman, Mark.
I mean, there's. Let's have a look. Type in. I don't do that. I don't like doing things on spot. Who's that guy?
We don't know. We're not looking at your screen.
See, David Attenborough's on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. We've got an advert. So don't get rid of that.
Anyone else?
I mean,
So far, we've got two old men.
there's Claire Balding on this list. National treasure.
Yeah.
I
I'd
don't
agree with
know
that.
she
Oh
is.
yeah. So you disagree, do you, Mark?
Yeah.
Another
she's-
woman.
She's not a national.
Go on, Mark. I'll go and get you a shovel. You can carry on digging.
Boris Johnson's on this list.
Eh,
Jamie Oliver.
Right, yeah.
Not really. They're not national treasures. I mean, people like maybe Ian McKellen, the actor Judi Dench, that sort of David Dimbleby. These are national treasures.
Oh, one female.
Hey, he mentioned a woman.
Dame.
Judi Dench.
Judi
Hang on,
Dench.
don't make me sound like I'm sexist.
You're not the sexist.
I don't need to do anything for you to sound like that, Mark.
Let me find some people that are not national treasures. Let's see.
I can just see him Googling, who is a national treasure that is not making me look sexist?
I watch loads of programs where they introduce them as, over there, that were...
I don't know, we didn't watch
God. Come back to me.
No, I like watching you squirm.
I can't think of anybody.
Well, just before we move on to Wheel of Features,
Yeah.
I just want, and I'm sorry, I know it's TV, but just because we mentioned it earlier, and it really did.
We are not a TV review.
We're not. I know, and
Well,
I
we're
don't
not
want.
reviewing,
I
we're
don't want
talking
to.
about it.
I don't want to review it. I just want to say that have you seen the lineup for Celebrity Traitors?
Yes.
No.
Mark won't have.
No, I am.
Do you watch Traitors?
No.
Wow.
Just me and you then,
Just
Kirk.
me and you.
Yeah.
How good is that lineup?
It looks good.
How good is that lineup?
I mean, there's a couple of hangers on.
yeah,
National
they're
treasures
always,
at bottom.
National treasures, yeah.
You know, at bottom, hanging them on. But yeah, it looked...
Jonathan Ross, Stephen Fry, Nick Mohammed.
Yeah.
These are serious names. You know, a lot of times with these celebrity like
Stephen
programs.
Fry, national treasure.
Yeah, he's a national treasure. Yeah,
Yeah, we know he is.
Yeah, because but again, just to
a bloke.
if they write books, they act, they present. What does
List them all, Mark.
what else does he do? Stephen Fry does something else, doesn't he? Does he produce? He produces stuff, doesn't he? Writes books.
I don't know if he probably helped write
but
like
if-
Jeeves and Worcester and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think he writes. Yeah, if you're sort of a bit multi-talented type thing, it's sort of you've got more providence to sort of be a national treasure. But
Provenance.
if you just sort of act,
Mark,
Provenance.
yeah,
Just to put this to bed,
yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Sue Pollard is widely regarded as a national treasure
Yeah.
in the UK. Her
Yeah.
vibrant personality, distinctive voice, and memorable roles, particularly as Peggy in the beloved BBC Heidi High, have endured her to an audience for decades. Skip
Yeah.
down a little bit. The new show, Still Fully Charged, which celebrates her 50-year career in show business, is why she's considered a national treasure today.
Even though you
That's
don't
my
think
point.
so.
She's not a national treasure. It's just it's just bouncing around. It's
Anyway.
bouncing around as if
Anyway.
she's somebody's.
Parking this
Listen,
one.
I loved her in IDI. She was amazing, but that's all she's done. That's it. That's all she's done.
Right, moving away from national treasures, I actually watched something on TV.
We are not a review show.
I know, but and it's not. I'm not going to.
You keep saying it.
I know. Right, and it's not about it, so I'm not going to go
I want
into.
to go back to traitors.
Oh, there were a program on. It was a document. It's actually a documentary, and it's on Netflix, and it's called Con Mum. And there's a guy who spends 40 odd years of his life not knowing who his mum is, and his mum reaches out to him. She's in her 80s at this point. And
Is there going to be a spoiler in this?
well, it's called Con Mum. She's a prolific con artist.
Okay.
And it got me thinking about. Again, I'm not reviewing films. The film Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio.
What film?
When he like
Tom Hanks.
pulls off, and Tom Hanks, yeah. When he's a con artist, isn't he? Could you do that? Could you like pull wool over someone's eyes, or
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to what extent? How far could you go? So that like Leo DiCaprio, for example, he ends up being a pilot. He gets his own money printed. He really goes to town, doesn't he? How?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think I'd really enjoy doing
Yeah,
it.
I would enjoy doing it. Would I enjoy it? Could I do it if I had to do it? Yes, but I wouldn't want to do it just for the hell of
and
it.
I wouldn't want to do it for monetary gain.
Yeah.
But like for instance, let's just say I went to America and I was on my own. I'd gone to America, and I was in a place and I could be anyone I wanted to be because nobody would know. And to play that kind of
Okay, all right.
pretending I'm
So let me
I'm
put
Rob Bennett. I'm a national treasure.
Putting something to you then.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say that you weren't married, you were single.
Yeah.
All right. And you was out in America,
Yeah.
and a female came up to you, or
Yeah.
male, depends,
Yeah.
but a female came up to you, quite fit,
Yeah.
fancy her, and she thinks that you're an actor, as in like she thinks that you look like somebody. Sorry, you look like someone that she then believes you are an actor.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that if you play along with it,
Yeah.
you could probably end up having a very nice evening.
Yeah.
Is that what they call catfishing?
Well, catfish is you putting something out there, pretending you're something, that you're not.
Visually.
Right.
But what I'm saying to Rob is he hasn't instigated it. Somebody's come up to him and said
And assumed.
and assumed.
And you've gone along with it.
Would I go
Would
along?
you go along with it?
I think...
It depends who's listening.
I think I would. Do you know why? I think I'd enjoy the element of wondering how far I could actually get away with it.
And I think that's the thing when Mark's asked the question about could you be a con man?
Yeah.
That pushing of how long could I get away with it, or trying to think on your feet, and that buzz of trying to think on your feet or trying to be
Yeah.
something that you're not. My anxiety would take over that bit. I couldn't do it.
I
Couldn't
think
do it.
An actor is probably too close to home. But let's say someone, I don't know, I was wearing something that alluded to some, I don't know, sounds daft, but someone thought I was an airline pilot. I don't know what I'd be wearing to give that away.
Yeah.
I've got epaulets on and stuff.
Yeah. You're aviators.
Yeah, but someone thought I was the pilot off the plane or something and got talking, and she's a attractive female and playing on it.
Okay.
I think I'd get off the thing of, right, I get to be an actor. I get to act
Yeah.
and see
Yeah, I
if
see
it's that
that.
improvisation. Can I actually convince them that I am a pilot? How far can I get away with this? And if whatever the outcome is, whether I'd get to a point where I go, listen, I need to come clean. I'm not really a pilot.
Yeah, is that the next morning?
Oh, he's still on? Just enjoy your leave. But yeah, I think I'd get off on that element of it rather than hoodwinking
I couldn't do
someone
it.
for any game.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. Do
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Time at the bar, please.
Let me just go back to traitors.
Oh, fuck, I thought you were going to say super hard.
No. Although I have thought of another legend
All right.
and national treasure, Paul McCartney.
Yes.
I'll be honest. I'm not going to sound. Generally, national treasures and legends tend to be more male than female. It just happens to be how it is. I'm not saying that I'm making them that, but if you look at if you Google it, I reckon more men come up than women.
I get what you're saying. It doesn't
It's
mean
like-
you
it's
don't
like-
agree with it. You're
I'm
just saying that it's
it's
just a
like
fact.
saying, richest people in the world, most of them tend to be men.
Yeah.
What were you
Not
going to say,
women.
Kirk?
Traitors.
Traitors.
Yeah.
So what I think about traitors is, unlike the normal traitors
We don't want a review, but go on.
No, it's not been on. I'm just saying how the dynamics are going to be completely different
Yeah.
because they're motivated by money. On the
As in
normal
the normal one,
The
yeah.
normal one. That's what they
And is this a celebrity one?
Yeah.
This is a
Right.
celebrity one. So in normal traitors, they're not really bothered how they're going to come across on screen. I mean, they are, but they're then sidetracked by money. That's what it's all about. But so, of course, celebrities, they're not bothered about the money.
No.
But they're going to be concerned about how they come across.
Are they winning on behalf of a charity?
Well,
We don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I think they'll be paid to be on there. I think it'd be similar to I'm a Celebrity, get me out of it. I think, but I don't know.
Maybe. I think the thing is, it's because it's such a popular program. I think the reason why it's managed to get quite an A-list lineup is because these people genuinely like the show and
Yeah.
genuinely want to be on the
on
show.
it.
And I think that's what will make it quite interesting
Yeah.
to watch.
Because I'm going to how they're going to play it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, they're going to be concerned to how they come across on camera.
Yeah.
I think that's how they're going to be.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of celebrities,
yeah.
shall we play Wheel of Futures?
You legend. Yes. What a legend you
That
are.
was the worst
National
link
treasure.
you've ever done. Yes, Rob, we'll spin the wheel.
Spin it.
Here we go. Oh, it's spinning. What's it going to be? Oh, I'm just so excited. Come on. He's nearly there. The Wheel of Features.
Okay, so last week was AI Jukebox Jam, and I gave you this question. So, something is about longing, love, and the journey to reunite with a missed partner.
Well,
Is this a film or is it?
it's not RoboCop, no.
Is it-
well,
is
somebody
it a
we had a
song?
guess actually. So Sue
Okay.
Scoven had a guess, and she said, "Is it The Bed's Too Big Without You" by The Police?
Okay,
I've never heard that song before in my life.
I haven't, if I'm honest.
No, I've not heard that song. Have you, Mark?
No,
You haven't heard of it?
no. I've heard of The Police.
I've heard of the Police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not heard of that song. Must be an album track.
Any other guesses from you guys?
I have. So just is it? Say it again. I've got.
Sing it
I've got
again.
two.
Sing it again.
I've got two.
Something is about longing, love, and the journey to reunite with a missed partner.
So I've got two guesses.
Okay.
You know, if we played it on the kazoo, Mark could get it instantly.
I'm going to have a guess. Everything I do it for you.
Right.
By Bryan Adams.
Right.
And
Okay.
I'm also going to have a guess at Run to You by Bruce Springsteen.
Oh.
Okay.
I'd guess at, what's that Lionel Richie song?
Run to You by Bruce Springsteen.
Hello?
Hello.
Is it me you're looking for?
Whenever I hear hello, though, I think of Adele.
I can see it in your thighs. Something like that.
Hang on, me and Mark's having a conversation. Run to You, do you mean
No,
Bryan
that's
Adams?
Bryan Adams again, isn't
I'm
it?
going to say that's
Yeah.
not Bruce
Who am
Springsteen.
I thinking of by Bruce? What song am I thinking of by Bruce?
Well, he's done loads of tracks, Bruce Springsteen. It could be any.
I know he has.
Exactly. So what are you thinking about?
Born in the USA with that Bruce
Yeah.
Springsteen.
Dancing in the Dark?
Are we
Good-
just going
good
through
song.
Bruce Springsteen songs?
I don't think it's Bruce Springsteen anymore.
Do you think it's Bryan Adams though?
Possibly Bryan Adams.
Should we stop this episode? Because none of us are speaking English. We're all
No,
over the place. Yeah.
Is it Every Breath You Take by the Police?
That is the Police, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just
But
saying it.
it's not right, and Sue's not right either, I'm
Oh.
afraid. The answer was
Don't say Celine Dion.
Show Me the Way to Amarillo.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What a bit of an
I'm not
anticlimax,
very good at
aren't we?
this at all.
I must admit, I think I would
That's
definitely would have
Bad Bunny
struggled with that. Anyway, shall we spin
He's
the
from
wheel?
Doncaster,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
Is
Who?
it?
Yeah, from Donny.
So we need to spin the wheel.
Well, yeah, I think,
Yeah, I think you
Why
haven't
do you
spun.
spin it?
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
let's all pounce on Kurt. You haven't spun the wheel yet.
That means I've got to get up.
yeah, well,
I
get
know.
up.
Come on, get some steps in.
Yeah,
Give me
absolutely.
7 steps.
This is your
Give me a minute.
exercise.
Give me a minute.
Oh, man's getting up.
Oh, hey.
Bones are creaking.
It's fact dump.
Whether you like it or not.
Well, it's up. I'm going to leave it up to you now, guys. Okay. So if
this
you
is exciting.
well, if you
We'll
want me
make
to
his
do-
own up.
Well, if you want me to do a fact dump, I can. But obviously, we said if going back a few weeks ago, we was changing fact dump to my new feature of the intros and the music
Yes.
music themes.
Yes. But have
so-
you got some?
Some what?
Intros.
I can deliver whatever. Listen,
Oh,
I'm
I
always
can do
ready.
anything.
I'm always ready. I come always ready. I'm not like some people that are sat here making it up as they go along. So I suppose it's up to you guys. What do you want? Do you want some facts?
Nope.
Random facts, or do you want some theme tunes?
I want some theme tune.
Theme
Right.
tunes.
Okay. Strap in.
So
There we go.
now we need a theme tune that goes.
So we're not doing fact dump.
No. So now we need a theme tune that goes fact dump, and then it goes in with another thing, doesn't it? Ignore that. Carry
Yeah,
on.
yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean, don't
I
you?
know where you. I know
Like
where you.
a-
I can hear it now.
Yeah,
I can hear it in
I've
my head.
seen. Do you know what I mean? It's that.
Fact, like almost like a record slowing down.
Yeah, like it's gone wrong.
Yeah.
So you can make.
or even a scratch.
So you can make that then, Rob. Yes.
Well, I mean,
Please?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
Ready for this episode?
We'll
So,
see.
so just to make sure that it is ready for this episode, everyone, here's the intro.
Bastards.
And that's the end of the intro.
Yeah, great that.
Right, guys. So have you got something to write down the answers?
Going to platform 1.
Go into
First
platform
theme
one
tune.
train. Yeah.
Yep,
Have you
yep,
got something
yep.
to write down the answers?
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Let me give me something to write the answers down on thing.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Phone.
Yep.
Close.
I'm ready.
So for those that don't know,
text.
I'm gonna play some random
How many are we doing?
intros. 10.
Right, so I'll start number 1.
10. Oh, like that.
10.
Yeah.
I only,
That's a
do,
lot.
I only do 5 for my dead or alive. He's doing 10.
Yeah.
I'm ramping it up.
Ramping.
Here we go.
Next week we're doing 40.
The whole episode. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready for the first one?
Yeah, we're ready.
That's a hard one, isn't it?
I know it. I know it's on tip of my tongue. And
Oh, I'm going to... okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've got it.
Have you got it?
I've got it. I've just got it. It's just come to me.
I ain't got
Okay,
it.
write down your answers.
I've managed to write down an answer at least.
Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Here we go.
That's all I need. It's a good job I'm old.
Hey, hey.
So that's your
I
that's
know the
that one.
song, but...
Hey, hey, it's the
wait.
Addams Family
Yeah, but that's not the name of the show,
walking
surely.
on the moon.
That's not the name of the show.
just trying to put you off.
Yeah, but that's not the name of the show, though, is it?
What, do you want clues? I've got it right, so I don't want to
Yeah,
give you
no,
any
but
answers.
I'm
Right, we're ready for number 3.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
that-
Ready for number 3? You ready?
Don't
Yeah.
overthink it, Rob.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Switch it off. We should do name that tune, you know.
Isn't that what we're doing?
No.
Oh, we should guess these. This is what we should do. You should play something, and then we should guess it.
Hey, thanks for joining us on this podcast, Mark, and feel free to join
Well,
us
I'll-
every week when we do the same things over and over
wait,
again.
Have you all finished slating me?
Yeah.
There was a TV show called Name That Tune,
Yes, there was.
and that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, that was hosted by a bloke as well.
Where they only did, they go, I'll name that tune in 2, and they go bing bing on a piano.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It was literally
Yeah.
two no, not
Yeah.
30 seconds of it.
Are we ready for number 4?
Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
Yes.
you. I rest my case. You all be quiet now.
Are we ready for number 4?
Yes.
Ready, number 4.
They say I might as well face the truth, but I am just too long in the tooth, so I'm an OAB.
I used to really enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
National Treasure?
It's funny.
What,
isn't it?
the guy
almost
that's
want-
in it?
Yeah,
No,
you almost want
no.
to say the tagline.
No, no.
Okay, ready for number 5?
Ready for number 5?
Oh yeah. Next.
I'm
I
gonna
know
say-
that one. Oh, that's a really annoying one. That because I know it, but I don't. I know the song.
Are we ready for number 6?
Oh,
Ready
no,
for number 6?
Oh no!
Yeah.
Ready for number 6?
Ready for number 6?
This is hard.
It sounds 70s-ish.
I think I know it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's hard.
No, it's-
That's a
yeah.
70s one.
The
That.
intro's too long for what I thought it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, ready for number 7?
Ready for number 7?
That's it. Switch off.
Oh, I'm doing really
love
bad
that-
now.
love that
This
one.
is getting. I'm not really.
Yeah,
good at
what was
this.
that? Number 7?
That was number 7.
Do you want an easy one?
Please.
Well, they've all been easy, apart from number 6.
Oh.
Monday, Tuesday, happy day.
Oh, I'll pick a different one then. Are you ready for number 8?
Yeah.
Yep.
Can there be anybody out there that doesn't know what that is?
Well, maybe you.
Well, yeah.
Are you ready
I
for
love
number
Cadbury's.
9?
Number 9.
Best thing is, I thought it were Flintstones.
Rob, have you taken over this or what?
No.
It's the sort of thing you do.
Sorry. I'll do another one. Sorry, I meant to cut it off sooner than that.
I got it wrong anyway.
Yeah. Dinner.
It did sound like
Flintstones.
All right,
It
so
did sound like
we'll do this one
Flintstones.
number 9. We'll do this one number 9.
Number 9. Oh. I know what it is. It is. No, it's not.
I think I might have got that wrong. That number 5 is doing my head in.
You'll know when you'll go. Oh yeah.
I know I will. I know. Number number 5. What was number 5?
I've got it wrong, that one.
That one, I had no idea what that were.
Okay, and the last one, number 10. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was really hard.
Right.
So that was
I
number
don't know
10.
what that is.
Okay.
So you've had all 10.
yes.
So we'll do the answers now. I got some feedback the last time.
That's because your
yes.
microphone were turned up too loud.
I did this theme with this feature. What was the what did I get told off for, Mark?
I can't remember.
I
When-
can, because you
Wh-
didn't give him the answer. You didn't play the actual hook of the song.
I don't think you said what number it were either, did you?
So I said what number it were, but apparently the last time I gave answers, I didn't replay the music beforehand to give the answer.
okay, right, yeah.
I need to. I'm still trying to answer number 5.
No,
And
time's up.
What's the show called where you
Well,
take
that's what-
antique? I've got it.
Antiques,
It's not,
Antiques Roadshow.
Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and get the answers off the boys, and then I'll play it a little bit so we know what we're talking about, and then reveal what the answer is. So, question 1, what do you think it is, Rob?
open all hours.
Okay, Mark?
I didn't get anything.
Okay.
It's it's Wombles, right? But I started typing in Wombles here on my phone, and it spell checked it to Wimbledon.
That's where they live.
Well,
And it's
I
not-
know, but
So
It's
is your,
not-
is your answer Wombles or Wimbledon?
Wombles.
Okay, so here's the theme tune.
No, that won't remember.
I don't know. That's my answer.
It's correct, that's the Wombles.
Is it?
What? I
Yes.
thought you went. Remember, you're a womble.
That was a Christmas song.
They
So
did.
that was off
Remember,
the,
you're a Womble.
Yeah, they released that as a song.
Oh,
Wombles released
That'll be
lots
Simon-
of songs.
that'll
I
be
nearly
Simon
put
Cowell.
Wombles, and I actually sat there going, "No, you idiot! That's
They
remember
sang
you're
lots of
a
different songs.
womble."
Wombles,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that
Ah,
was
I
that
would've-
was number 1.
I would have got that right.
So, Rob, number 2.
I've just put monkeys.
Okay. Mark.
I think it is just the monkeys.
Okay, Mark.
It is the theme tune to the monkey show. I think it was called, but it's monkeys really. That's all I know it as.
Okay. Here it is.
Here we come, walk down the street. We get funniest looks from.
So yes, it's the Monkeys. It's the theme tune from the Monkeys.
I got it right.
Yeah. I said to you,
I
don't
remember
overthink
the
it.
opening credits. That I'm sure they're going down a street on a bed on wheels.
Yeah, they were, and they went into sea and they run back.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, they tiptoe into the
Yeah, then, like, up back, yeah.
So question 3, Rob, what have you got?
Grange Hill.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Grange Hill as well.
Yeah, Grange
Mark?
Hill. Yeah,
Here it is.
That's all we need. We only needed that.
Grange Hill.
And yes, that is Grange Hill. So number 4, Rob, what have you got?
1 Foot in the Grave.
Okay, Mark.
Yeah, 1 foot in the grave.
One foot in the grave.
Let's listen.
Is this your theme tune, Mark?
But I am just too long in the tooth. So I'm an OA.
That's correct. It's 1 foot in the grave. I love
Don't
that.
believe it.
Rob's can't wait for this one.
So number 5.
Antiques Roadshow.
Okay, Mark.
I got Randall and Hopkirk deceased.
Okay. Mark.
Come down with me.
Okay, let's have a listen.
Oh, yes, it is. Damn it.
Well done, Mark. That's come down with
Oh yeah,
me.
you can tell who's not got a job, can't you?
Thank you. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so number 6, Rob.
Number 6.
I've got no answer for that one.
Okay.
I thought I knew what it were, and then it seemed to go on too long, and usually I'm sure it starts singing before that. I got the Jetsons.
Okay.
Steptoe and Son.
Have you got the right numbers?
Oh no, sorry. No, I missed that one. Yeah,
number
I
6.
I didn't get anything for this. Sorry.
You didn't get anything,
No.
so let's have a listen.
No, I didn't get anything for this. No idea.
Oh, it's the one with the witch or whatever. Not Bewitched.
No, it's not Bewitched. It's a 70s thing.
It's quite an old program. It's Tomorrow's World.
Tomorrow's World.
I definitely
Wow,
wouldn't
which
have got that.
version though?
I don't know.
Do you know? Could you imagine watching that now and seing what were they talking about for the future and how far in the back,
Yeah,
in the past,
I know.
what they were talking about now is.
I know.
I regularly watch that. Yeah, I watch programs.
On your VHS.
No, I watch programs about Tomorrow's World, and they show you clips about
All right.
retrospect. Yeah, it's
Retrospect.
Yeah.
So number 7, Rob.
Photograph.
I didn't get an answer.
You didn't get an answer?
No.
Mark?
For the next one,
Yeah.
I got Steptoe and Son.
Okay.
and
Mark?
I think you know what I got.
I think you got Steptoe on Sunday.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
have a listen.
I wouldn't have got that one.
You didn't get that.
I didn't get that one.
That's correct, Steptoe and Son. So are we on number 8?
Number 8.
Yeah.
Go on, Rob.
Rob?
Right. I've got a problem with this.
Okay.
Well,
Don't say you didn't know if it was Coronation Street or Brookside.
no. Oh, thank you've just answered my question. It spell checked it to fasteners, and I'm going fasteners. What were it meant to be? What were I meant to have written?
Yeah, well, it's spell check mine.
Okay, Mark.
Yeah, EastEnders.
Mark.
That's what I got, but it's spell check mine to Easter dads.
Can you remember when was it Angie? She's married to Brian May.
Then what?
What's the real
Angie
name?
Watts. Anita.
And they released it, didn't they, as a song?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, and what called it now, Mark?
It could everybody can fall in love.
Let's have a listen. That's correct. It's EastEnders. So number 9.
I got Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, so just the first number 9, just in case you didn't hear the fact that it gave away, was obviously I messed up and didn't press pause. Was obviously Top Cat. I just didn't press pause quick enough. I didn't think it came in that soon. So the real number 9, which was
Little House on the Prairie.
okay.
I thought it was All Creatures Great and Small, but I think that's a different piece. Anyway,
I don't think I'm right, by the way.
I put All Creatures Great and Small.
I didn't get anything for this.
You didn't.
No.
So let's have a listen.
It sounds.
I can see it.
It sounds a little bit
It's
on a
such
boat.
a familiar theme.
Is it something to do on a boat or something, or ship?
like Howard's Way?
Yeah, something like that.
Soldier, soldier,
Soldier.
Oh, we're way off.
soldier, soldier.
I was about 40 years out.
And the last one, number 10, Rob.
I didn't get an answer.
Okay.
I put 24.
24.
24.
Right.
I put Fort Boyard,
Fort Boyard. Ooh, yeah.
but I don't think it's that. I'm
All
not
right.
sure on that, but that's what
Let's
I put.
have a listen. It's Line of Duty.
Oh.
I've got to say, I think the people that said that we didn't, the bit you didn't do right the second time,
Yeah.
I think they're going to be slightly disappointed. All you've done is just play the same bit you played as before.
That was the point.
No, they wanted the main part.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. What the listener was saying was they were driving at the time, so
Yeah.
they didn't have time. They couldn't write the answers
it down.
Yeah.
So when we was giving the answers, they didn't know which answer
They
related
can't-
to which theme.
Right.
They can't
I thought they meant they want. So let's EastEnders. Let's say you only played do 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 and stopped. I thought they then wanted the do no 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 no
No.
Right.
Don't
okay.
worry, Vicky. I knew what you meant.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how
whatever.
many did we get, Rob?
4.
That's
That's
appalling.
terrible. I know.
Absolutely appalling. I made them easier on purpose this time.
Monkeys, Green Jewel. 5.
Really?
Monkeys, Green Jewel, One Foot in the Grave, Step Two and Son, and EastEnders.
Wow.
You beat me by 1.
7.
Well done,
Oh,
Mom.
that's
Thank
a
you.
good score.
Well done.
Thank you.
So is that feature here to stay, do we think?
I think it
Yes!
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like-
What's it called?
What's that theme?
What's that intro thing?
This has no theme.
This
What the bloody hell is that? Music version.
But on that note,
It's been a pleasure.
See you
See you
later,
later,
boys.
boys.
Bye.
Thank you for your continued support with our independent podcast. Did you know that you can interact with us and other listeners on Facebook, on the Chat In Tap Room Facebook group? You can also get in touch via email, innthechat@gmail.com, and of course on any of our socials. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.